After Halloween and Christmas, New Year's is my third favorite holiday. It checks all of my boxes: dancing, alcohol, food, and ritual. Like other holidays we've explored from a Black American perspective on this channel, what can be said about the history of New Year's? What major and small events happen for Black people on the holiday? And how did Black people respond to the Y2K scare of 1999?
Nobody knows what will happen when the new year arrives. The Andersons are sure of one thing: Y2K is a reality.
I have like 80 gallons of water.
Let's chat. This video might make you a little hungry though, so be warned and grab a snack.
Let the cheers abound. That's a happy-looking group of people.
Now, as I said, I love alcohol, especially wine on New Year's Eve, but I don't like the packed aisles of wine stores or the limited offerings of my local grocery. This is an early Christmas present from Bright Cellars, a subscription wine service. Y'all, I cannot wait to open this box. I've been looking at it and I cannot wait to open it. They sent me 6 bottles of wine. They sent me 6 bottles of wine. I took the quiz and they matched me with perfect bottles. Let me go ahead and pop this one open while I fill y'all in on the details. I decided to open up the red blend, the Voyage d'Anly Vent, and I am about to taste it. I'm all excited. It's saying it's got flavors of cherry, plum, dried herb, and coffee bean. I love me some coffee. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I'm trying to keep it professional. Hold on. This is good as fuck. Nearly 3 million happy customers have taken Bright Cellars wine quiz to get matched with wines they'll love. And I'm talking about bottles sourced from all over the world. Every month, you can rate your wines and get better and better offerings. Think of Bright Cellars as your personal sommelier. For a limited time only, get your first 6-bottle box, valued at over $150, for just $55. What are you gonna do with 6 bottles? Show up to holiday events this year with a fresh bottle of wine, gift a bottle, or even a subscription, or just cuddle up with your favorite movies or video games. So go ahead down to my link and get your $55 box of 6 wines today. Thank you so much, Bright Cellars, for this amazing deal and this amazing wine. Now let's toast to a Black people's history of New Year's. Woo! Humans have been celebrating the start of a new year, no matter the calendar, since the beginning of time. And along the way, the celebrations have incorporated a bunch of traditions that are meant to bring good luck and fortune. From Italians eating lentils and wearing red underwear, and Spanish people eating 12 grapes when the clock strikes 12. Nearly everywhere, having a clean home before midnight has enormous significance. Also, people have been making resolutions since ancient times. But how did Black Americans come to celebrate? Said Adrian Miller, in West Africa, there were certainly auspicious days, but this idea that the first day of the calendar year and doing something on that day would bring good luck, to my knowledge, doesn't exist in West African societies prior to European contact. In America, the enslaved people came to fear the new year, when debts were due and contracts expired and began, and they could be sold on the auction block. Expanded abolitionist and freedman Lewis Clark in 1842. Separation of families. Yes, indeed. Of all the days in the year, the slaves dread New Year's Day the worst of any. For folks come for their debts then. And if anybody is gonna sell a slave, that's the time they do it. And if anybody's gonna give away a slave, that's the time they do it. And the slave never knows where he'll be sent to. Oh, New Year's, a heartbreaking time in Kentucky. Here's a Fredericksburg, Virginia advertisement for Friday the 31st day of December, 1847. A former enslaved woman named Sister Harrison told a WPA interviewer, "That's where that saying comes from, that what you do on New Year's Day, you'll be doing all the rest of the year." However, January 1st would further be significant 3 times during the antebellum period. First, Haitians officially abolished slavery and became independent from France on January 1st, 1804. In 1808, the ban on the transatlantic slave trade went into effect on New Year's Day. Third, the Emancipation Proclamation, which symbolically freed enslaved people in Confederate states during the ongoing Civil War, began began on January 1st, 1863. Any enslaved people who could make it north were free, and the holidays were traditionally the best time to plot an escape, as discussed in A Black People's History of Christmas. The night before the Emancipation Proclamation went into effect, enslaved people gathered in churches to pray, worship, and celebrate, becoming the tradition of Watch Night or Freedom's Eve. Watch Night services had been common among European Christian churches, but the Black variation was born in the shadow of the Civil War. On Freedom's Eve, freed Black people also gathered to pray for those in Confederate states. They enjoyed Hoppin' John, collard greens, and hog jows and ribs. Hoppin' John is rice and field peas, a specific cowpea mostly in South Carolina and the Georgia Lowcountry that were central to Gullah Geechee culture. The Gullah had cowpea seeds after enslavement ended and grew them for sustenance, while those who left the South used black-eyed peas for their Hoppin' John. Collard greens, meanwhile, came from Northern Europe and were eaten most in areas dominated by British culture, but became symbolic for Black American prosperity for years to come. Collard greens symbolize money and fortune. As for Black Americans living in German-dominated areas, cabbage on New Year's became central. Both would be renowned for the pot liquor, or the juice from the dishes, which were believed to be powerful good luck elixirs. And of course, chitlins, as were all parts of the pig, were also popular New Year's menu choices, plus fried fish and cornbread. In Louisiana and Texas, gumbo was and is the New Year's staple for many Black families. After enslavement, New Year's, like other holidays, became more popular. Watch night services continued to grow, and as Black people gained more freedom, so did secular end-of-the-year parties. Another tradition, shooting guns at midnight, would also become common, especially in my home state of North Carolina. While a popular celebration among cultures throughout the world, the tradition emerged in colonial America among German settlers who went around to people's homes on New Year's, chanted, and shot their muskets, with some folklore saying it warded off evil spirits. After the shots, the men were then invited inside the homes for coffee and food. This practice, without the pomp, circumstance, and free coffee, became more common in communities of all colors as the years went on and guns became more available. The tradition, as we all know, continues. And my dogs hate it. They be in the house so mad whenever they hear fireworks or gunshots, pissed off and scared. Important 20th century events that occurred on New Year's Eve and day include the following. On January 1st, 1915, audiences watched a preview of The Klansman, which became the movie Birth of a Nation, which, as we all know, galvanized racism and lynching. So, tragically and unsurprisingly, 8 years later, on January 1st, 1923, in Rosewood, Florida, a mostly Black and self-sufficient town, a white woman accused an unknown Black man of raping her and sparked the Rosewood Massacre, which destroyed the town and led up to 150 murders of Black people. The survivors of the massacre buried the incident, fearing retribution, and as we discuss in Lectual Does the 90s, wouldn't receive any semblance of justice for 70 years. On December 31st, 1972, a 23-year-old Black nationalist and former Navy sailor named Mark Essex began his series of sniper attacks in New Orleans, with a goal of killing as many white people as he could. He eventually killed 9 people, including 5 cops and 1 Black person on accident, before being killed in a shootout at the downtown Howard Johnson's on January 7th, 1973. But for most Black Americans, New Year's continued to be a time of celebration, cleaning up one's home, eating good food, and making resolutions. Obviously, when Black people are enjoying something, there's always a critic. In 1971, the president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, Reverend Ralph David Abernathy, criticized Black people for enjoying New Year's, saying, "New Year's Eve is a time devoted to booze and football. Blacks and poor can only look forward to another year of poverty, rats, roaches, inadequate housing, and starvation." Searches of Black magazines of the era yield more results for New Year's recipes, party ideas, and celebrity resolutions. Also, speaking of celebrities, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett got married on New Year's Eve 1998, solidifying one of the most gossiped about Black celebrity relationships in history. The next year, the threat of Y2K loomed over the holiday celebrations.
A Senate panel describes Y2K, the year 2000 computer bug, as a worldwide crisis. and one of the most serious and potentially devastating events this nation has ever encountered.
Advise One website, the best defense against the violence, theft, rioting, looting, murder, rape, and anarchy of a Y2K social collapse is to be out of the city and into safe rural property. If you take the Y2K threat seriously and you live in or near a city, you should consider moving to a rural area.
People that is preparing themselves for this, and then the ones that's not, they gonna have it hard, and they gonna find the people that does, and they gonna hurt people, try to keep themselves in the clear by keeping food, taking from the ones that's already been prepared for this.
Police all over the metro area are Y2K ready. Their computers are ready. They have extra gas. They have extra water. Everybody's on duty or on call. Everybody's going to be on patrol. They have backup generators.
Makes me feel pretty good. We need to have that kind of feeling here in the city of Detroit, especially because we don't know what's really going to happen. And we'd rather for them to be overprepared than underprepared.
So, from what I could find, the black community was all over the place. Producer Chucky Thompson told Vibe magazine, "This New Year's, I'm gonna be stocking up on supplies, water, batteries, food, all that. Chilling right in the house. You think it's a joke? I think this whole Y2K thing could be for real." Others were more skeptical, but still beholden to the worst rumors. Said producer Rodney Darkchild Jerkins, "I know I'll be nowhere near New York and near LA because if the bombs drop, it'll happen in one of those two places. Seriously, I think I'll be on some island in the Caribbean. I'll be going to church. Other than that, Y2K is just another day to me." In this same Vibe magazine issue, Shahrazad Ali complained that the magazine didn't include her book, Urban Survival for the Year 2000, Preparation for the Year 2000 Computer Problem for People of Color. She asked readers on the cover, "We have no plan, no control, no money, and no unity. What will we do?" Whatever advice Ali was given, we probably didn't need that shit. Ali was pissed that Vibe, which mostly had black readership, had featured 4 Y2K books, all written by white authors. In Ebony magazine's Millennium Celebration issue in 1999, most black celebrities emphasized that they would be at home, with Debbie Allen saying her family declined a trip to Africa because of Y2K concerns and long-standing family ties. More than a few people were concerned about the threat of the Y2K computer bug, and the amount of people who planned a stockpile went from just 26% in December 1998 to 42% in December 1999, after months of publicity. Unfortunately, there were no race-specific polls on the Y2K scare, which I would have found very interesting. Were you a black person in the 90s who had mild to serious concerns about Y2K? Don't be embarrassed. As we'll learn in Lectual Does the 90s, if the world's computer scientists and programmers hadn't put in the work they did, there would have been serious problems. So, according to a Gallup poll, 54% of Americans wouldn't fly around January 1st, up from 47% in an early December poll. And 43% of respondents feared that air traffic control systems would fail. Said radio show host Tom Joyner, "Until I figure out what this Y2K thing is all about, I don't plan to be anywhere where I'm at the mercy of technology." Howard University's Hilltop newspaper advised students to have enough money on hand for 3 days of unforeseen emergencies, to keep their gas tank above half full, and to have a 3-day supply of food and water, while also assuring students that the university prepared for Y2K glitches. Many black people were chilling.
Do you have any concerns about like all these talks about Y2K and millennium bugs and?
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, can we control it? Is it something we can stop? Just push a button? I can't worry about things that's out of my control.
How it goes down, we're gonna have to handle it. It's just gonna be a different day, a different number. I'm quite sure everybody's gonna wake up with the same hangover, whether it was 98 or 2000.
I bet, looking back on that clip, he didn't know it would take 23 years for all of his dirty little secrets to come out, did he?
This hand and this hand. Go like this, close your eyes, and pray to who?
The big G-O-D.
That's the only way everybody will be safe, period, because it's cool to go ahead and pre-plan, get all your bank statements together,
and
go
you
ahead,
should. And you should,
have food, take money out.
Side.
You should be doing that anyway, without Y2K, whatever. But if you don't pray, because everything's gonna happen the way it's supposed to happen, you should find something positive to believe in. So for all you devil worshippers, God bless.
And then there was the calm and wise Maya Angelou. New Year's Eve on the edge of the year 2000, I hope to be doing what I've been doing on New Year's Eve for the last 40 years. Aromas in my kitchen, and in fact, in my entire house, will be fighting one another in attempts to dominate mustard greens with ham hocks. We'll try to control cinnamon and nutmeg flavored candy yams. Black-eyed peas will be struggling to overcome smothered chicken and gravy. Pinto beans will try to stave off the headiness of pig's feet. Cabbage with ginger and macaroni and cheese will be engaged in their own bout. Radiating optimism, she added, "We shall finish our prayer as the clock strikes 12. Then we will have copious libations and lift our glasses to all those we love and those who love us. And the next day we shall eat and laugh and drink and pray again." She was so wise, and she was chilling. Were you chilling like her? Let me know in the comments. As we close the chapter on 2023, which if you ask me seems like it literally started last week, I'd like to wish everyone a happy new year. I'm wishing you abundance, happiness, and health in 2024. The world is filled with darkness, and I hope you continue to find a way to light a path forward for yourself and your loved ones. How do you plan to celebrate the new year? Will you be partying, getting a New Year's kiss, cleaning up and sitting at home, wearing your red underwear, eating your grapes, going to watch night? Be sure to let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you like and subscribe. Make sure you check out A Black People's History of Christmas and Parties for even more celebrations. And thank you so much to Bright Cellars for sponsoring this video. Fluffy brown brown.